Hello and welcome back to Gotham Sound's coverage of NAB 2025. We're back from lunch with Magewell. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've got the post lunch letdown, so I'm ready to get pumped back up.
All right.
As always, we're live. So if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn, I remembered it this time. Yes. Please leave your comments here. We'll get them to Mike. Mike, what are you showing? What are you showing us? I know you got a lot going on, but what's over
one
here?
of the big new things that we're showing, and I use the word big in many different ways, is the new Director One. Now, last year, Magewell introduced Director Mini, which is an all-in-one production solution, which I know you're familiar with, and you even use in some of your productions. Director One is the evolution of Director Mini. So one of the main new features is a bigger, brighter screen. So with the touch screen, you have a 5.44 inch touchscreen on Director Mini. You have a 7-inch touchscreen on Director One. So the touchscreen that you can see here isn't just for monitoring, though. This is actually how you can control the device. So it can do switching, it can do graphics, we can add overlays, we can do scoreboard control, audio mixing. All of this can be done right from within the actual touchscreen interface.
So I see what you're doing here is the preview, and this is the program.
Exactly. That's the program out right there. So I can switch to the live camera. If you look up here, you have a scoreboard there. One of the key features with this is, in addition to the touchscreen, we also have a mobile app, so you can have a production assistant helping out, whether that's graphics, audio mixing, or so forth, or things like controlling the scoreboard. So the guest just scored and is taking the lead. You can just control it right there. So we've got full control there. We also have control via Stream Deck controllers. So if you want a physical knob and button instead of the touchscreen, you can do all of that. But Director One versus Director Mini, which some people may be familiar with.
Well, just to Tobias, if you want to just hop behind here and get the wide shot, we have Director Mini right here.
You're using Director Mini as part of this production right now,
and we'll talk more about that later. But that is the brains.
The brains behind the operation.
Yeah.
So Director One, how it builds on Director Mini. The bigger screen is the most obvious thing. Second most obvious thing from the antennas there is it actually has an integrated cellular modem. So instead of using an external modem, you could actually plug in a SIM card and be streaming right off that device even without Wi-Fi, which we already supported.
Now, there are 4 antennas here. Does that mean there are 4 cards or just one card, 4 antennas?
So the 4 antennas, 2 of them are for the one SIM card, the 4G SIM card, and 2 of them are better Wi-Fi connectivity.
I see.
So the Director Mini had integrated Wi-Fi antennas within it, but some people wanted more directional control or higher power antennas, so now we've got external antennas.
And you can use whatever you want in terms
of
that. Very
exactly. Cool. So switching, graphics, streaming, you can be streaming to YouTube, Facebook, all the different formats right off the box. Directly from the box.
Wow.
And it's got an HDMI output now, so you can be running that to a big screen as well behind you if you're doing something with iMag at the same time. All of that directly off the unit. Instant replay, if you're doing sports productions, again, it'll record in a loop behind the scenes so that then you can trigger an event and do an instant replay with a stinger transition. All of that in one box.
And is this how you control the instant replay, or is that controlled from here as well?
The great thing with Director One is you get a lot of choices in control. You can control instant replay from the app, from the touchscreen, or a web interface. So if you didn't want to use the mobile app, somebody can log in from a website interface, possibly even remotely from a different site if you're doing remote production, and be controlling all of these aspects as well.
And this, I noticed Ethernet connectivity. Is that how you would get to the laptop?
As long as it's on the same network. It doesn't have to be Ethernet. It could be Wi-Fi.
Okay.
We use Ethernet here at the show as much as possible because in a trade show environment, the Wi-Fi gets a little challenging when you've got 80,000 people, on the network at the same time.
We've noticed.
Yeah, exactly. So, but again, we could actually do, we could do the switching off a touch. I'm using it like a touch screen, but again, you could do the switching off the web interface. All the different functionality is available however you want to control it.
That's wild. What's the price and the availability on the Director
This has
One?
just started shipping. MSRP is $15.99 on this model.
Nice. Very cool.
Consider the fact it replaces having a switcher, a streaming encoder. I mean, again, Magewell offers dedicated streaming encoders and everything else as well if you just want one piece of the puzzle. But if you want everything built into one unit, right here.
Very cool. And you have something else you wanted to show us as well.
I do. So this is one of the latest standalone converters that Magewell offers. Magewell's really well known for things like their USB capture devices, their NDI converters, and so forth. And this is the latest model of standalone converter, which we call the Pro Convert IP to USB.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing for it is to be able to decode NDI and turn it into a USB webcam stream. Now, one of the questions I've been asked a few times at the show is, well, doesn't most software support NDI natively already? Well, actually, most does, but not everything.
Right.
And one of the key applications we keep seeing is video conferencing software like Zoom and Teams, for example, that doesn't natively support NDI. You can add NDI tools, which NDI offers for most people, but in a lot of cases, corporate, education, healthcare, users aren't allowed to install utility software like that on their systems. IT has everything locked down. So to solve that problem, this box will take the NDI stream, decode it into, and it shows up just like a USB webcam. So whatever software you're using with it can immediately take advantage of the NDI ecosystem. Now, I keep talking about NDI. There's a reason that we call it IP to USB, because it can do more than just NDI. It could be an SRT stream. It could be an RTMP stream. Any of those it can decode and turn into just a standard USB-C output that goes into whatever software you're using.
Maybe Dante?
Sorry?
Maybe Dante as well?
We don't currently do Dante video yet. Look for that as something we'd be considering in the roadmap in the future. We have a Dante audio device
That's
already.
what I meant. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have Dante video. We do have a Dante audio device. That's the ProConvert Audio DX. And it can take Dante audio, well, it can convert to and from Dante audio between NDI audio, SRT audio, and analog audio. So if you've got a workflow where you're using NDI production, but you're getting a feed from somebody else who's got Dante audio coming in, it will convert that Dante audio to NDI and then bring it into the NDI ecosystem.
Now that's the one that's not here, right? That's
I don't have one of those that I can wave in front of the camera at the moment, unfortunately.
But similar size box?
Similar size box. It's almost identical, actually.
And then do you know how many channels it can do?
I believe it can do it can do at least 8 channels.
All right.
I believe 16 actually, but don't quote me on that.
Oh, we're looking at it. Oh, there's a picture of it over there.
There's a picture of it on the screen. Right. That's really convenient.
So perfect. So you understand how that works. So just as a Dante bridge between other things.
Exactly. Because especially, if you're using Dante locally, but you also have SRT audio coming in from somewhere else for remote production, being able to transcode that SRT into Dante audio and put it out as Dante flows. Again, as you said, it's a bridge.
Nice. Very cool. How has the show been going?
It's been busy. It's been really busy. I mean, you guys popped by earlier to see, that's why we weren't able to do the live stream earlier too, because the booth was just packed.
Yeah.
So it's been really fantastic. I mean, it's been great to see.
What?
I can, certainly.
Okay, we're going to slide over, and I'm going to give Peter this microphone in a minute because he gets very excited about all this network connectivity jazz. So we're sliding over. Excuse us, sorry. We're just going to scoot over here. All right, so, and, Kyle and SVTV, thank you for your comments. SVTV said, I love Magewell, and I said, Mage very well, which I think is, it's hilarious for me.
Yeah.
So, Peter, that's for you. Yeah, should be, it's on.
Hey.
Great. All right, so now you hear the voice of
I'm a
Peter.
huge fan of the Pro Convert Audio DX.
Yep.
And I saw you guys recently came out with the Miri.
So Miri isn't from Magewell. Miri is a partner company of Magewell. And what Miri has is bonded routing. So one of the big things is, Magewell makes fantastic production equipment, but you can have all the best production equipment in the world. If you don't have a stable, fast enough internet connection to get that stream to your audience, then you're in for a challenge. People aren't getting to see your stream. So the idea behind the Miri bonded router, especially in environments like this where Wi-Fi may not be working and that sort of thing, bond multiple connections together, first of all for resilience and second for performance. So as an example, let's say you have you're using the Wi-Fi in a trade show convention center, but you're only getting 3 or 4 megabits per second because it's so congested. That's not enough to push your stream out. Well, at the same time, now you can take a Miri bonded router that can connect to that Wi-Fi, put in a 5G SIM card and a 4G SIM card, combine all of those signals together. So first thing it'll do is if one of those signals goes away, the stream continues because the rest pick up as a failover. That's the resilience aspect I'm talking about. The other thing is you're combining the performance of them. So instead of that 4 megabit that you might be getting before, now maybe you're getting 15, 20, 30, even more.
Right. So you're taking all the streams and combining them together into, say, a river.
All those internet links together and then pushing your stream over the combined fatter pipe, so to speak.
I see. I see. And then also DC powered. So I see there's some Sony L series batteries on the top.
Correct. So this can be powered. You can plug it in, or you can power it with standard NPF batteries. Again, this was designed to be used by the production professional. So production guys often have NPF batteries as part of their kit for their cameras. So they're familiar with them. It's a really comfortable form factor for them.
All right, we got more from Peter.
And what I really like is the display and the telemetry that the display gives you.
Yep.
So if you don't mind, Tobias, getting a shot of that.
Yep. So it can be showing you exactly what connectivity you have, what sort of speeds you're getting, what it's running, how much up and down that you're doing. There's also a web dashboard that you can get at. We're not running it here because they have it over at the Magewell booth, but we'll show you all the performance of all your connections. But the key is you've got this great stream going out. You don't want to suddenly drop out from underneath you because your carrier had an interruption. So by bonding all of this together, you can be bonding 7 connections together directly. And there's a feature called Pair and Share. This is powered by a technology called Speedify. And Speedify has this Pair and Share feature where if you need even more bandwidth, anybody who's on the same network running the Speedify app on their phone can share their bandwidth with you. So all of you guys on the crew could actually be contributing bandwidth to the stream from your phones as well.
Does that work over Bluetooth or USB? How does that work?
You have to be on the same network. So you would actually connect your mobile device to the Wi-Fi that's coming off the Miri, that's on the Miri is generating. And then it can actually pull more of your data performance into it.
And is there an app on your phone?
It's an app on your phone. It's the Speedify app.
Do the cell carriers know about that app?
Sorry?
Do cell carriers know about that app?
They'd be happy because they're actually you're using more data. You'll be paying them for more data.
Nice, nice.
Very interesting. And then obviously you've got all these different
So this is the back of the unit. This is it. The top unit's fully equipped with all the antennas. The bottom unit, we took them off just so you could see it. Again, though, there's 4 antennas for 5G, 2 for 4G, 2 for Wi-Fi.
And you've got external DC power.
That's for the power.
Yep.
And then we have 4 connections here. They're labeled LAN and WAN, but you can actually reconfigure them. So if you have a wired source that you want to connect, at a show or in a conference room or that sort of thing, you certainly can.
Great. And do you know, is this available and shipping and all that?
This is available and shipping now. Again, it's from a company called Miri Technologies. Magewell's using it here at the booth to power, to back up internet for the booth. And Magewell is a Miri partner.
And how are you noticing the internet is here?
It varies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best way to put it. And I mean, that's typical of any show environment. I mean, if you're relying on the Wi-Fi, there's so many people on it, there's congestion, everything else. You can pay for a wired connection here, but again, it depends what the other booths are doing around you, and it can be very expensive. So, our approach is we do this to back up the show-provided internet. We're not trying to work around them.
Right.
But, we can't afford for there to be a problem all of a sudden that takes the internet out from under us. So we have this for that resilience to make sure it keeps going.
All right, fantastic. Well, look, it's amazing to see the kinds of things that I did, in production and these, big broadcasts.
Exactly.
Shrunk down into these
Small
tiny
package.
little boxes. The future is tiny.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Perfect. All right, Peter, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
No, other than thank you for making such great products.
Oh, you're very welcome, and we're glad. Thank you for covering them.
All right, and we have one more comment on YouTube. SVTV says, that's actually crazy. It combines data for a more powerful signal. We are truly living in great times. And to me, the idea that as a crew, you could just have all of your data from your phones, that's, I mean, the power, we're stronger together. That's nuts. All right. Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you all for watching. We'll be back with more NAB coverage soon. As always, you can see this video and more at gothamsound.tv. You can follow us on social media platforms. You can contact us at info@gothamsound.com. And if you are considering professional sound communication or production equipment, please consider gothamsound.com for your sales and rental needs.